Welcome to Bigfoot Society. Marlee reaches out with questions about what she saw in North Texas. Was it a dogman or something else? The more I ask questions and the more we talk, it becomes quite evident that other events of high strangeness are occurring in this far northern area of Texas. This episode goes to places and subjects you won't be expecting. Please enjoy this preview of a special members-only episode. To hear the whole episode, you can become a supporting member of Bigfoot Society on Patreon or YouTube by using the links in the show notes. And as always, a special thank you to those that are already on board the Bigfoot Society. And thanks for listening. Was it an overly muscular creature or?
Yes, it was. That's why I was so shocked, because there's nothing I've ever seen around here that looked like that. It was wide and muscular.
Can you go into detail about what kind of things you noticed that were overly muscular about it?
Like the back, like the shoulder part and the arms, that's what stood out to me.
In what way?
Its shoulders were wide, like the top of its back was big. And I was just, I don't know, that's just all I saw.
If you were to think of a muscular actor or someone that may be athletic, does anyone come to mind that would be similar to what you saw?
Maybe The Rock.
Okay. That's pretty big.
Yeah, I could only just imagine it standing on two legs. Like it would have been really big.
Covered with some sort of black hair, but enough that you were able to see the muscles under the hair is what I get from this.
Yes.
This is about like 3 to 4 years ago. I'm sure you've thought about this a few times. What do you think it might have been that you had run into or saw that day?
At first, I didn't know, but then I started researching into like cryptids and stuff, and I found it like really interesting. And I've heard a couple other people throughout my life talk about things like cryptid, and I never believed in that until I saw that. So I really got into it, and I listened to tons of stories, and what I feel like it's closest to would be a dogman.
And what similarities did you see between what you saw and what you've been researching in the dogman?
Just like it being big and muscular and black. And that's just what it reminds. Out of all the cryptids I've researched and stuff, that's the only thing that is similar. And like I saw like pictures of, which I know they're probably not real pictures, but people like post the picture or drawings of Dogman or whatever, and that's what it looked like to me. Did
you get anything that would have told you that you were looking at like a male or a female creature?
No, okay. I don't know.
Gotcha. Did you do any research after that into the area where you had that sighting to see if there were any dogman sightings in that area?
Yes, I actually saw a map, and it wasn't necessarily dogman. It was just cryptid sightings. And there is literally a mark where I saw, because I live like at the top of Texas, and there was one dot, and it was between the two towns that I was driving between. And that's the only sighting anywhere in North Texas. And it was like the same area.
And what did that dot represent?
It just was a cryptid sighting. I don't know exactly what was seen.
That's very interesting. Where was that map again that you saw that?
I don't know. I'll have to find it. I think it was on Facebook on a cryptid group.
Sure. Gotcha. That's really interesting. That's definitely not a coincidence, I would say. You saw something weird.
Yeah, that's what made me weird. Yeah, that's what made me believe it even more.
You mentioned that in your past you had some relatives or people that you knew that had shared stories with you that at that time you didn't really believe, but that might be different now. Are you able to,
yes.
Is there anything you'd be able to share?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was a dispatcher at an oil field company, and there was that I had to send the night driver. We had one night driver. His name was James, and I told him what we had to go to, and he was like begging me not to send him there. And I was like, you're our only night driver. You have to go. And I've seen a skinwalker at that location. And I'm like, whatever. Like, he's like sleep deprived and just whatever. And he was literally scared. Like, he did not want to go. And I didn't believe it back then, but now I do. And my son's uncle, he had told me that he saw like a naked humanoid creature. And this is literally, I'm not even kidding you, probably within a 10-mile distance of where I saw what I saw.
To hear the rest of the episode with Marlee, you can become a supporting member on Patreon or YouTube by following the links in the show notes. Just want to take a few minutes to say thank you to you, all my listeners, for listening to the podcast. Please take a minute to help out the show by subscribing on YouTube, making sure you hit the bell so you don't miss any notifications, and share the episode on YouTube with a friend. Also, if you're listening to us on a podcast, thank you so much. Make sure that you're subscribed, share the show with a friend. Really, it's all about sharing the show wherever you can. If you've had a Bigfoot encounter related to the following or know someone who has, please reach out to me at bigfootsociety@gmail.com or pass on my email. Here's a list. Bush pilots in Alaska that have seen something from their plane. Retired law enforcement officers whose department had a large file for Bigfoot encounters. Individuals that have had Bigfoot encounters on their family property through multiple years and generations. Individuals who've had a face-to-face encounter in the state of Tennessee, North Carolina, Kentucky, West Virginia, Alabama, or Mississippi. Individuals who've had a face-to-face encounter in the state of Oklahoma or Arkansas in the Ouachita National Forest. Individuals who've had a face-to-face encounter on Prince of Wales Island or surrounding area in southeast Alaska. Any encounter in Franklin County, Texas. Hunters that have never shared what they saw in the woods due to fear of ridicule. Individuals that have had a Bigfoot try to enter your house in the Honobbe, Oklahoma area. Any encounters that happened within a 20-mile radius of Northfield, Massachusetts, and 25-mile radius of Great Barrington, Massachusetts. Encounters in the Enchanted Circle. Encounters in the Yosemite National Park area or any national park for that matter. Individuals that have lived a long life, don't care what people think about them now, and want to share what happened to them 50 to 60 years ago. I'm your guy to share your story. Individuals that live in remote wooded property and feel like they're under attack by Bigfoot after clearing their land. And lastly, any Bigfoot encounters where the individual saw what seemed to be an orangutan. Please reach out to me at bigfootsociety@gmail.com if any of those fit what you've experienced. And for those where it doesn't fit, please feel free to reach out anyways. A special thank you to all the Bigfoot Society Patreon and YouTube channel members. It's your support that helps keep the show going, and I extremely appreciate it. I'll see you back next time, listeners. New shows on Mondays and Fridays. I'll see you then.